An inspiring life story is the account of a moment when an extraordinary person reveals the key that unlocked the door to their success. Among the many themes explored in these narratives are triumphs over adversity and the shattering of previously established boundaries. Not only can you as an individual motivate others to chase their dreams, but you can also provide them with the means they need to keep going strong once they reach their goals. Open the closet, limitless options, almost like taking yourself shopping. What is your style, casual or formal? Sophisticated or low key? What's the fun in being normal? For me, it's not just about the outfit, it's mainly about what I wear with it. A nice stylish hat and a nice pair of shoes is always what makes me feel brand new. For some, it's the jewelry providing a shine. For others, it's the hairdo making them feel fine. Regardless of your style or what you wear, make sure your fashion has touches of self-care. So today, I have the wonderful privilege of talking to and meeting with a childhood friend of mine, someone I have known from way back in the day. I swear we growing up too quick. But welcome everyone to the Live and Learn podcast. This is the show where we explore the fascinating journey of personal growth, share life-changing stories, and dive deep into the lessons that shape who we are and who we become. I'm your host, Walter Williams, and I'm beyond excited to embark into this empowering and enlightening journey with you. Look good, feel good, right? Today's guest is no stranger to helping people look and feel their best. She is a mompreneur, style curator, lifelong cosmetologist. I put heavy emphasis on that part. A wax specialist, and also she's a full-time HR specialist. Sound like she's the Jacqueline of all trades, don't she? Since I met her, she's always been passionate about cosmetology and now owns a salon and is a wardrobe stylist. Her passion for helping people look good and feel their best says a lot about who she is and what she's about. Please help me in welcoming Ashley Wanda. Hello, Ashley. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you for having me.
No
I'm on.
problem. I appreciate you being a guest on today. I know you wear many hats, and for you to find time to be a guest on here with all that you got going on, I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna try not to take up too much of your time.
No worries.
So in our lives, what we choose to do for a living, it is an apex of the catalog of inspiring stories and journeys we've lived. And I only shared a brief description of what it is that you do. Can you share with the audience a little bit more about what you do, the moment you realized it was your calling, and what moment did you realize it was about to take off?
Well, I can start with the cosmetology piece. When I was about between 5 to 7 years old, I spent a lot of time at the salon with my mom on Saturdays, getting her hair done and just sitting there watching those people I looked up to, even till this day. Some of them still do hair 20, 30 plus years later. Watching them just transform a look into something of creativity, and it just drew my attention. I later discovered practicing on my own hair about 12 years old and coming up with a lot of outcomes that I really enjoyed and just experimenting. And then I decided that I wanted to pursue it. So I decided to apply to magnet schools when I moved forward into high school. So getting accepted into in high school, a magnet, and really just vastly putting me into everything that I learned, along with fast forwarding 4 years later, graduating with a cosmetology license in high school, and then just been doing it really ever since. I go in and out of it. The hair piece is on hold, but now I'm into the aesthetic piece because being a cosmetologist, you are a triple threat, which is hair, skin, and nails. So now I'm in my, I guess you could say, skin journey. I thought I would only do hair, but here we are.
Wow, that's incredible too, because to hear that you've been like really passionate about it for for as long as you are, I can relate to many people who probably know that back in the day there were many things that you said you wanted to do, but then over time what you wanted to do change. And that happened to me several times. So by no means am I doing today what I said I was going to do when I was 5, 6, or even 12 years old. So kudos to you for still doing what it is that you said you were going to do back then. So at what moment did you see it taking off? Like, was there a moment in your professional journey that you said, yeah, this is my moment of arrival. I'm here and I'm ready to show people what I'm made to do.
About, let's say, about 12 years ago, I decided to pursue it full time. I always dibbled and dabbled and worked another job and did it part time. And when I did full-fledged go into it full time, I did build a clientele. I didn't think I would be able to do it, but I stuck with it for about 2 years, in which I was like, okay, I need some additional income when it comes to that. So I was introduced to the retail world around that time, which grew into the second passion I have, which is wardrobe styling. I worked for I guess you could say a high end, a reputable company. It's still around. However, some of their brick and mortar stores are no longer around. They have partner shops within, like Macy's, and other department related stores. But creating that clientele piece also segued into my current role, where I had to obtain a clientele book in retail, pull looks for those clients, um, basically have open-ended questions. The motto, and I still use this motto to this day, it's called guest. So G means you greet the client, hey, how you doing? How you been? U is understanding the client's needs. So after, the introduction, oh, you know what, I'm going to Jamaica. Okay, so you're going to Jamaica, how long you're staying? Do you predict what the weather may be? Is it rainy season? Things of that nature. So you're thinking about the aspect of how the head to toe would look while understanding. E is exciting them with that product. Like, look, I think this is a great color that you should wear, so on and so forth. I want to hang this in the fitting room for you to try. And then going into S, which is just basically stating and referring all of those types of looks. Same thing, like I said, with the hair piece, just giving suggestions and things like that, and seeing what fits, what works. And then T, you want to thank them. Thank you so much for coming in, seeing me. I really appreciate it. Is there a way that we can keep in touch? Can I put you in my book? And going forward, when you have looks for future events, things of that nature, this is the way that we can build our rapport to maintain that relationship.
Oh wow. So you were in a retail space or you were working in a retail space and then that's how you then like segued into the wardrobe styling piece.
And I didn't think it just came out of nowhere. And I started utilizing those same tactics on myself, in which I was like, you know what? I think I'm good at this. Um, I mean, per se, I don't advertise it enough, but personally, I have a vision and I can see it. And then once I execute it and put it all together, I enjoy it. So reasons why I have the like to know it um, piece of how my business is, where I link those items that I'm wearing and you can just click and purchase.
Wow. See, and that's fascinating too, because like who would have thought like working in a retail space or really just like there's so many incredible stories that I hear like this one where certain spaces that you work in, you wouldn't even be able to envision or imagine it leading to you starting your own business, your own brand or whatever it may be. So to hear stories like that are the things that people need to hear to know that look, you don't have to be stuck in this one small space. There's a way you can expand it and make it grow even bigger and may have a more meaningful presence to, those that you come in contact with.
Yeah. And just being as though that I could, capitalize on that one person. I can do your hair. I can, wax unwanted hair, and then I can put some clothes on you. So then you can, oh, you can look like something.
So what would you say has been like the biggest obstacle that you've overcome, or that you're still face if it's one that you're still facing today? What has been your biggest obstacle throughout your journey and your profession?
The obstacle is staying committed. And the decision to be persistent, being your own motivator. Like I had a suite. I opened it in October of 2022. However, the overhead overshadowed everything that I worked hard for. So unfortunately, I had to close those doors July of 2023, in which now I bring it at a home service type vibe. It is still an adjustment, letting people into your personal space. However, just building that clientele and maintaining the clientele, I should say, advertising myself. Even I can trace it back now to um, 2021 when I was introduced to this field, where I was going to be serviced for wax servicing. My wax specialist was like, I'm a cosmetologist. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You're a cosmetologist? I really thought it was only esthetician related, which is skin only. And
Mhm.
I me think, I said, well, I can do this. And that only just not only opened the door, but with the obstacles, like you said, is what taught me how to maintain and operate a business on a different aspect. Not only my other business that we haven't discussed yet, my eyewear business, but um, just the difficulties that come with that is just self motivation, really, all in all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, and when you mentioned that about having to close up the shop, I think that one of the um one of the challenges that we face as entrepreneurs too is sometimes with all of with all that's going on around us, you have to be more of a seller of yourself
Yep.
because, with people coming into your home to take advantage of your services, they have to really trust you. And it's
Yes.
you that they have to be coming to. Whereas before, people be like, "Oh yeah, it's a nice facility. It's located in a nice spot. I could go down the street and go have lunch here, afterwards." Now it's more so they have to want to come to that place to receive the services of you specifically, as opposed to the benefits of what's around.
Yep. Exactly.
So you mentioned the eyewear business. So I mean, so
The
what?
list goes on.
Yeah, it does. So what started that? What I guess what inspired you to start the eyewear business?
Oh, as you can see, they're always on. No, they're on for this interview. I mean, silly to have glasses on in the house, but but what started that business? It became a idea in, I guess this is just always my starter, October of 2015. Since I opened the other business in October 2022, I just kind of thought about that. um, this was a way to formulate revenue for another type of accessory that I like. However, back in 2015, I didn't need glasses. However, yes, I do now. Girl can't see when she driving at night, but um, it was a way to just formulate some fire into me. I became a mom in 2013, and I was just thinking of other ways that I could reinvent myself and bring Ashley back. Postpartum is real, and it dragged a lot. So this was an idea, and I did a lot of research. I attended actually a vision expo. I never knew that there was a entire expo related just to optical obstetrician related details and courses and events and things like that. So I really honed in and did the research with help with a close friend of mine that's really good at building websites and things like that. I did put this one on halt as of 2021 because I started focusing on the skin piece and now formulating what now I do as a wax specialist. I get asked constantly about it, but it had originally started as just a women's eyewear, which expanded into men and then kids. And it was very successful. I should say I have people to this day asking, when you coming back? When, you got anything else? Or the glasses I wear and share in my stories. They're like, is that yours? Is that you? No, but you can click the link and buy it. There was some money to be.
So did you have like, so what you had like a vendor or someone that provided you the glasses to sell to people? Like how did that whole program work?
How it worked, I just, again, the research, I used a manufacturing company, where they like gave you the products in bulk along with colors. So I would get a quantity of 12 and it'll come with, you know, 4 blue, 4 tortoise, black, and maybe 1 white and 1 tan. It'll come with a whole variety. And I mean, it was a whole production. It was photo shoots, it was models, it was videography,
Oh,
was upkeeping with the quantity of the stock I had. It was going on those sites, going to those events and finding what was new and up and coming. Not seeing what's currently out, but being ahead of the game by looking at those designers and in hopes that a duplicate was in form. I had to later learn that those high-end fashions, they're duplicated between 3 to 8 months. So I would have to stay on my toes on catching it before maybe your Fashion Novas, your Sheins, your, you
oh
know,
yeah.
no, your other fast fashion places would catch on. And that's
Mhm.
kind of where I had to pump the brakes because they, have a different establishment. They're a larger company. They can get the pedal and the car started and
Mhm.
having a fast pace much quicker than I would. So I'm just seeing as though that the fashions were a little delayed with the manufacturing company. That's what made me kind of put it on hold. Unless something really catches my eye that I believe is extremely different, then FE eyewear would return in the future. And just to give you a backstory, FE, a lot of people think it's like a saying like fee eyewear. No, it means flawless expression. And
Oh,
Flawless Expressions started when I was 17 years old. Flawless Expressions by Ashley was the hairpiece. Flawless Expressions Eyewear was the extension of that. And then FE Salon and Wax, Flawless Expressions Salon and Wax.
oh wow. I just learned two things new now. I learned about the Vision Expo, had no idea that that existed. And now I learned what FE stuff for. I see it all the time when you post stuff, and I'm like, I never even thought to ask or even inquire about what it meant. I just thought, oh, okay, FE sounds cool, but I never knew that's what it stood for. So it sounds even more interesting now that you explained that. So before we transition over into the next segment of spiritual relief, I guess so with you having flawless expressions, now that I know that name, you have
Yes.
all of these different things going on that you like, that you're kind of like juggling around. I know right now you're focusing on the wax specialist stuff, but do you plan to get to a point where everything is going to be available under flawless expressions, or are you just trying to figure out what do you want to be your focus and then like just focus on that? Like, what is your long-term plan? I guess where do you see things at in maybe 3 to 5 years?
I definitely want to see the expansion. The LLC is FE Eyewear, in which I wanted those entities to extend out to other things. Um, and those flawless expressions, meaning that I wanted to be expressive through hair. I wanted it to be expressive through your vision, which is your eyes.
Mhm.
I wanted to be expressive through your articles of clothing. I wanted to be expressive into how you show your skin, um, and how well you take care of your skin. Um, in those 3 to 5 years, I in hopes that all expansions are utilized. It's always been a vision in my family because we are quite a talented family in my immediate family. My aunt is um, she is a licensed massage therapist. And my other aunt, she's a nurse and she wants to get into the med spa piece. So it is something of a vision that maybe in those next few years, our family business is formulated through all of those entities. And then, of course, building my clientele. And like I mentioned before, if something is so unique as far as the eyewear and I don't see it anywhere else, then it will arise. Like I said, it's just temporarily on hold. Nothing completely shut down, but I am one woman.
Oh,
Got
yeah,
it. Got it
absolutely.
road. Like I said, working full time. Being on my own. Just a lot of avenues that take place. I'm also, I didn't mention this prior, but I also a merchandiser for Claire's that I do on that as well. So the days run together, the hours just all fall together, the weeks, everything.
Where
We
do
here.
you find
Here.
time to rest?
Yeah, and that's a tough time because I'm always on the go. It takes a long time for me to slow it down.
Wow. Well, kudos to you, wearing all those hats and doing all that stuff. But I guess what I was about to share before I transition will probably be a good tip for you too. Through all of what you're sharing with what you do with your platform and your business, I think the biggest thing to take away from it is the importance of self-care.
Of
So,
course,
and getting all of these services, with the wax specialist, with the waxing, the wardrobe styling and all of that stuff, I think flawless expressions should really speak to the importance of expressing yourself through self-care.
yes,
So make sure you take a good job of practicing self-care because you do a lot. But for
yeah,
people to get the best version of you through all of this stuff that you do, you got to make sure you take care of the most important person first, and that's
yeah,
you.
yes.
All right. So now we're going to transition over to spiritual relief because I don't want to take up too much time of the businesswoman's life here. Um, so today's spiritual relief segment comes from Matthew chapter 6, verses 28 through 33, and it reads, "And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall I eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. And the message I received from this verse is worrying about how you look or appear is a burden that we must not carry into the kingdom of God. We must remain faithful in knowing God has us covered and accounted for in all regards. So do not let the judgment and opinions of others have any effect on how you carry yourself, how you take care of yourself, and don't let it impact your trust in God. So I think that really speaks back to the self-care piece that I was really trying to preach through all of this. You know, I think it's really important that you take care of yourself in all that you do. So you sharing the story about all of the things that you do, and it really resonates with me with what I'm doing with my platform. I'm trying to do like 20 different things, but sometimes you got to take a pause and just say, what am I worrying about trying to do all of this for? Like, it's great. I want to be, I want to be great at what I do, but to get the best of you, you got to make sure you take care of yourself first.
Amen.
Uh,
Hmm.
all right. Now for our last segment. This is the fun one. This one, so as we know, she's a fashion expert, as I like to call her. Um, when we were younger, we knew about all of these. We see all of these fashions and all of these styles, as you said. What you call it, retro fashion? Is that what you said, or
Um,
retrospective
it's
fashion?
that. That's just what it is.
Yeah, because we just keep seeing all of these things come back. We like, wait, y'all wearing that again? And and I thought about some of the things that I remember when we were younger, when we were in grade school, that really kind of like I think about and I thought about oversized clothing. We used to want to wear pants that were like 2 sizes bigger, these big shirts that had us looking like the Michelin Man. Then we used to wear jerseys. Jerseys was a big thing when we were in school. I had a friend that wanted to collect like every single NBA player jersey, Lord knows why. And my favorite was when I used to wear Rockaware. Now, a quick story about this one. So I still had Rockaware as recently as about maybe 7 or 8 years ago, when my wife and I, at the time we were getting ready to get engaged. She saw my closet when she came over my house one day, was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's my Rockaway hoodies." She was like, "You still wear these?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" She was like, "No one wears those." And I'm like, "I don't care what everyone wear. I love Rockaway." And fast forward, I had to get rid of them.
Old Faithful, the Old Faithful.
Oh, but I'm
And
telling you,
for, now vintage is very popular.
yeah.
You could have turned that into some revenue.
Don't even remind me. You're making me even more upset. If I'm telling you, if Rockaway comes back in style, me and my wife gonna have a word. So
Uh,
so I guess really to flip it to you. So what were some classic throwback styles and fashion trends that you can recall that you were really big on or that you were a big fan of back in the day?
um, three, right? That's
Yeah. How
okay.
many you want to say? You probably have more than me, so
My favorite was the bandanas when you wore the
oh,
around your head.
I forgot about
They
those.
were actually reversible. So one side was solid and one side was like a gingham kind of pattern, like that checkered board type.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was my favorite. Choker, and I still love chokers to this day. Maybe not those plastic looking ones where it feel like, it's like choking you to death, but I'm still a big fan of those types of forms of neck jewelry that fit closely like that. I'm still a big fan of that. Um, Another big thing was like the different color type of flats, and now that's returning. They call
Oh
it a
yeah.
basic flat now, but I had a lot of flats that had different patterns, solids, you name it. You can get me out of them. Those are my favorite. And then a fourth thing was denim. I really love
Oh,
the denim sets where it was the matching jacket and the skinny jean or the boot cut, or
oh
in this case, I'm a mom now. I need high waisted mom jean, but it was those the ones that sat on your waist type denim.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those that denim was definitely a big thing back in the day for the women, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about those. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, before we close out, is there a way that, those who are listening and watching can get in contact with you if they want to take advantage of some of the services that you offer? How can they get in touch with you?
I have a link tree which is available on my Instagram. My Instagram is fashion FASHION underscore Harris HAIRESS. And there is a link tree that provides my booking services, a couple of other additional articles that I was featured on for FE Salon and Wax, a fashion feature as well, where you can get just a quick synopsis of who I am and what I do. But if you are looking for any services, you can get it from there. Also on Facebook is I don't know exactly the link, but it's Ashley Winder, ASHLEYWINDER. The link is there as well. It's not a link tree, but it's a link straight to where you can book for your future wax appointments as well.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much for sharing that with the clients. And also, at the end of this video, you will be able to access those links. I'll make sure they're available for you to review at the end of this video. So thank you again, as always. We appreciate you tuning in to the Live and Learn podcast for another informative and incredible episode. We hope that you have come away from this with fresh insight and perspective and motivation to carry with you on your own path. Keep in mind that learning is living, and learning and living are both constant companions throughout life. Be sure to subscribe for more interesting discussions and forward this episode if you thought it was quite incredible, which I think it was. And you can follow us at Deep Discussion on all social media platforms and visit our website at deepdiscussion.org. If you would like to benefit from any of my success coaching or keynote speaking, you can contact me at 443-356-6096 or email me at deepdiscussion13@gmail.com. And also, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, reach out to me, same contact information. Until our cross path, I'm all off. Until our paths cross again, may you continue to live, learn, and appreciate the adventure. Stay inquisitive and take care.